good afternoon to you. My name's Wayne. I am the Lone Cybertronian. Thank you very much for joining me for the next review. So, as of filming, the previous two reviews have got no views on them. However, this one may or may not generate a little bit of interest. So, today's review is going to be Combiner Wars again. But this is Breakneck, or Wild Rider, depending on how you want to swing it. And obviously this guy wasn't released as one of the initial Stunticons in Combiner Wars. He was released afterwards as kind of the fill-in, the same as Quickslinger was to fill in for Alpha Bravo. We did get a replacement Stunticon in Off-Road, who was kind of cool, but he wasn't the original. So it didn't quite fit. I still bought him and I still really like him as a figure. As a result, he may be in my collection longer than the current Stunticons may be, because he'll stay as part of Galvatronus. While these guys, if the new Menasor is actually good, then I'll sell them all, including this guy. But yeah, this one's a little bit of a rarity, and not many people have got him. Especially not the G1 version. People may have the G2 version. So let's have a little look and see what we think of this little fella. Right, here we go. So here you can see Breakneck in his robot mode, where I always start. He's a retool of the drag strip mould. Drag strip? Dead End mould, even, which is one of the best moulds in Combiner Wars, so I didn't mind picking it up again. But he has got some slight, he's obviously got a different paint job and some slight detail differences. First off, blatantly obvious is the head. The head is completely different from Dead End's. Looks nice, and if you ever saw the G1 cartoon, then you will notice that it does look very authentic to him. Obviously the original G1 toy had the head as a combiner port, so it's just a little square thing, but he looks really nice. A couple of purple eyes in there, which isn't showing up very well in this light, but it is in there. He does have a pair of purple eyes and the two bumps sticking out the side of his head. It's a nice looking Bonds. Looks very aggressive, which I wholeheartedly approve of, especially as, if I recall right, Wild Rider was a bit of a almost, I don't want to say berserker character, but he was definitely an aggressive character. I say all of the Stunticons, the reason I like them is because each one deals with a different aspect of mental illness. So Breakdown is obviously anxiety, Dead End is pessimism and depression, and I believe that Breakdown was kind of mindless, like fury or anger issues, I think, if I recall correctly. The chest plate I thought might have been a new sculpt, but it's not. It's the same as Dead End's, but the paint work on it makes it look very different. A nice shade of purple in there and some nice detailing. So, as for posability, as you come to expect from Combiner Wars, head is on a ball joint, so you've got plenty of movement. Arms are going forward, back and out to the side. We've got an elbow joint in there with a bicep swivel as well. The hands do fold in for transformation, but they don't rotate. He does have a waist swivel for transformation. Legs are coming out to the side and forward and back up until where they hit the back of the body there. So reasonable range of motion. Knees for days, coming well back, as you're well aware by now probably. No feet articulation, but I do like the massive feet and the fact they give him a nice hefty stance. So he actually looks the dogs. So yeah, nice looking robot mode. Weapons wise, he is the same as Dead End, coming with a length of pipe, which doubles as a exhaust, and he also comes with the same, he also comes with the same combiner piece as Dead End. So they've got the twin blasters, which you can obviously just slot into his hand. I do like the fact that the Stunticons seem to be close combat orientated. They all have like a length of pipe or swords or daggers or that kind of thing. I always thought that was a nice touch, especially as you still have the ranged weapon with the combiner piece as well. But anyway, that is Wild Rider, or Breakneck, or whatever you're calling him these days, in his robot mode. Let's have a little look and see what that vehicle mode looks like in the new colours. And here we have Breakneck even in his car mode. So I meant to mention his colours obviously in robot mode. So you have just got the grey and red, very G1 accurate. And in the vehicle mode he comes out pretty much the same, so mainly grey body. I really actually quite like the dark red windows. There's something about that. Obviously it's not realistic, but it does look damn cool. And obviously you've got the red stripe here down the side, with a little bit there as well, just for the joint. Something I've just noticed actually as well under the light is the front panel here. In normal light that just looks like a bit of the grey, but if you actually tilt it a little bit you can see that that is actually a different shade of grey, maybe even silver. And the original Wild Rider had a sticker on his bonnet with a Decepticon symbol in the corner, if I'm remembering correctly, that was that did that. So that's a nice little homage. That basically they've just dropped G1 Wild Rider onto Dead End from Combiner Wars and made this, and it's really quite cool. I do like the car mode. I mean, obviously this mould has been reused 500 million times at this point, so we are used to it, and it is still one of the better moulds. It looks great, rolls and everything compacts up quite nicely. The transform works really well. I think the one thing I don't like about it much is it doesn't make a great arm, if I'm thinking correctly, but I mean I will forgive that. Weapons storage. So as before, you can store the pipe along the side as a kind of exhaust, if you like, and obviously now we've got two of them, one for Breakneck and one for Dead End. You can have one on either side. So this is the other thing that really let me down about this mould, is that there's nowhere really to store the combiner piece in vehicle mode. I mean, you can strap it on the top of the hood like that as a turret, but when Drag Strip and Breakdown have all got really nice storage for their combiner pieces, and then Dead End and Breakneck get stuck with this, it's not the best. I mean, it works, you know, it stores it, but it could have. I feel like they could have done something a little bit better, perhaps. Maybe even making the hole more recessed so it even sits better on the roof, maybe, or something like that. But that's one of my big disappointments with this mould, is that, you know, they haven't given you proper storage for that I'm aware of anyway. But apart from that, he's got a very nice vehicle mode. I'm not going to go on too much because obviously, as I say, we've seen this mould before, we know what it looks like, and as a result my Dead End review is going to be even shorter because I've already covered the car mode here. So anyway, there we go. So that is Combiner Wars Breakneck, and I'm very glad I actually picked him up the other day. I managed to get him for a reasonable price, second hand, and he's really nice, and I'm glad I've got him, and he looks great as part of Menasor. So I'm really pleased I picked him up. And as I said, if it was a rubbish mould, I would be, you know, disappointed and just doing it for the completionist. But he's actually a nice figure in and of himself. So anyway, I'll stop me waffling. But yeah, I am going to complete this set. So I will be doing Dead End and Breakdown and Menasor as a whole. I may do Blackjack as well. Haven't made my mind up on that one yet. But yeah, I do want to do all of them because, as I say, they are going to be disappearing soon, I think. I may even be selling mine. So it's just nice to look back on them and show that I did actually have them at one point and that I did appreciate them for what they were. And I'm hoping that some people see these and take a trip back into memory lane, as they are quite old figures now, sadly. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me today and for watching the video. As I always say, you know, if you have requests, anything that you want me to do, Titans, or any of the previous lines, please let me know. If I've got the figure, then I will do that for you, no problem at all. But until the next time, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.